I'll start off by looking at the cleanest channel on the amp. It's a 2-channel amp, but as I've mentioned previously in a couple of the videos, each channel's got 2 different voicings. So the clean channel has got 2 different voicings, and the overdrive channel's got 2 different voicings. So this is the first of the 2 voicings on the clean channel. This is as clean as the amp gets. So for clarity, headroom, nice clean chords or notes or whatever you're playing, this is the channel that you're going to use for that. In this and the other ones I'm going to do on this series of playthroughs, the guitar is going straight into the amp and there's nothing else connected apart from the Footswitch. So there's no other effects or anything like that. There's no reverb on at the minute. I'll add that later just so we can hear what that sounds like. And the audio's coming straight through the camera, so there's nothing fancy taking place. This is the amp as it sounds. So nice and clean for the chords, no distortion, no breaking up. The volume's sort of way low. I'll put the actual settings in the description so you can see what settings I'm using on the amp in terms of volume and stuff like that. But I'm barely even touching the volume on the smaller power reduced 4-watt setting, which is what I'll be using for all of these demonstrations. So that's the clean channel with a few chords strumming. Pick some notes out. Lovely clarity, sparkling. In the fullness of time I'll probably get some effects on that as well. It does make it sound a little bit better, but it's everything you could want from a clean channel on the amp. Yeah, I can hit it as hard as I want with those chords I was strumming. It's not going to break up or distort, and you can pick out the single notes or anywhere. Lovely, clean, bright and beautiful. That's the basic clean channel. Absolutely dry with no effects on whatsoever. When I say dry, I usually mean there's no reverb or anything on it. It's just as the amp is. So we'll have a look at the just the reverb. Really, there's nothing much else to add to that. I'll probably use reverb on the clean channel on some sounds and some things, depending on the style you're playing, the songs you're playing. Reverb works better than others, but on a nice clean channel, it's going to sound quite lovely and lush. Hopefully the camera will pick up. I won't know till I edit it, so fingers crossed it'll do it. I probably wouldn't use this much, but I'm going to crank it up to about halfway, 50% on the reverb. If you noticed, in fact, before I do it, if you noticed on the what I call the dry sound with no reverb, when I hit a chord, strike a chord and kill it, it stops dead. So there's no echo, there's nothing carrying on there. I'll put that reverb up to, as I say, 50%. It's probably more than I'd actually use, but hopefully you'll hear the difference. If I play a chord and kill it dead, you should hear an echoing sound of it carrying on. Hopefully that comes across. Not exaggerated version, but again, if you're picking through your notes and your chords, knock it off again, see if we can get a comparison. I can play it. So that's what the reverb gives us in addition to the normal sound on the amp. So it's got the full variety of things. As I say, I probably wouldn't use that much. I'd probably back it down a little bit more to that sort of region. taste, but everyone's taste is different, so use as much or as little reverb as you want. Nice to have that feature built in. Can't fault the clean channel, does everything it says on the tin and more besides. Sounds beautiful to me, and hopefully it sounds nice to you as well. I certainly enjoy playing on that channel.